Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to start the vlog for the second half of October. October is my favorite reading month because we love the spooky books in this household, so I'm very excited to share my reading with you. I quickly wanted to mention the books I'm currently reading, so you're up to speed. I'm currently reading The London Séance Society by Sarah Penna, the author of The Lost Apothecary. This is a historical fiction that has some kind of like spooky elements because of the whole seance topic. We're following a girl who has lost her sister. Her sister was murdered, and so she decides to learn from a medium because she wants to summon the ghost of her sister and find out what happened to her. But we very quickly find out that there is probably a much bigger plot going on with that. This is set in the 1800s in London. It starts out in France, but it very quickly switches over to London. And so yeah, I'm very excited to keep reading this. I'm currently a little bit more than a third of the way through. This week is very busy, but I hope to find some time to continue reading with that one. And then I'm just starting out with a new audiobook, and that is a horror movie by Paul Tremblay. Now, I must be honest with this one, I won't probably talk a lot here just because I'm doing a separate reading vlog that hopefully will be up even before you see this vlog. So if everything goes well, you will already have heard all of my thoughts about this, but basically in this book, we follow a cursed movie, a horror movie that was done in the 90s, and now someone is trying to do kind of a reboot of it, and it's like this very mysterious thing because the movie never actually came out. I really just started it, so I don't have any thoughts, but I'm very excited to read this one and to finish off that little extra reading vlog for you. And yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. We'll see. I have a very busy week currently, but I hope to really just sit my ass down during the weekend and enjoy some books. So that's the plan, and I'll keep you updated. By the way, this is the state of my cat currently. I have my work laptop right there with her sprawling on top, and underneath her, which you can't see, is also my phone. So if you ever wonder why doing home office with my cat is a little bit challenging, this is why.
We go to the convent, and again, I feel like we could go a little bit further into the description. It isn't really blown me away so far. We do meet a couple of the sisters, and they are helping John, but they are a little bit weird. Like they don't.
So today is the 22nd of October, and I managed to catch COVID again. I did that last October as well. Last October, I think it took me 3 weeks of the ongoing semester to catch it. This week I got it right in the first week. This year I got it right in the first week. So the weekend has been very rough. It started on Thursday. I was still kind of okay on Friday, and then the weekend was just terrible. So we're doing better now. And I do have a quick reading update. Really nothing much has happened reading wise because COVID always affects my brain quite a lot. I get terrible headaches and other pains, and I just could not focus on anything. But it gave me a great opportunity to catch up on all of the YouTube content I had been behind on. A lot of like Gavin's Halloweenish vlogs, which is lovely because those are like hours long and they just give me a lot of comfort. So very thankful for all the like YouTube creators out there who kept me entertained throughout this period. But I am starting to feel much better now. And yesterday I finally finished a book. I finished reading Horror Story by Paul Tremblay, which was my audiobook. And G from the channel Book Roast did some sprints, and so I used those to finish this book off. I'm not the biggest fan. I gave it 3 stars. Honestly, it didn't do anything for me. I don't remember what I've talked about already on this vlog, but there will be a whole separate reading vlog for some horror thriller books that will probably already be up when you watch this, where I talk about it in length, so you can go and check that out. But yeah, it really just didn't do anything for me. I think the writing was quite good, and the audiobook obviously saved a lot of it because it had such cool sound effects and everything, but the story itself really was just very boring to me. So we're going into a new audiobook. I tried to do this thing again where I let a random number generator choose my read, but then I realized I'm really in the mood to read the next Kate Ellis Marshall book on my list, and that is These Fleeting Shadows. I have already read Rules for Vanishing and Our Last Echoes, and I loved both of those. And so now we're on to These Fleeting Shadows. In this one, I just started it on audio, so I'm like 10 minutes in. But we follow a girl called Helen. She is kind of in a family that has this very big, strange manor house called Harrow. And at the beginning of the book, we learn that Helen's grandfather has passed away, and so she, her mom, and her stepdad are going back to Harrow for the funeral. And this has like the what are they called, the prompt titles or something like that, of Knives Out and Haunting of Hill House, I think. So scary thriller kind of thing with a house. There was already mention of spirals, and that Helen will have to find the center of the spiral. So I'm very intrigued. I trust Kate Ellis Marshall with her YA horror, and yeah, I'm just so in the mood to read this, so we're going for that one. I'll update you once I'm a little bit further in. Now, my goal for today, now that I'm finally starting to work like a proper human again, is to finish the London Séance Society. I am now 2/3 of the way into that book, and it's also not really doing much for me. I think it is quite weird that a little bit further than the halfway point, we already kind of get the resolution of what's going on. And now at this point where I stopped reading last night, I think all that is kind of left to do is like see how our characters now get out of the mess that they're in, but like the whole mystery plot is already resolved, and we get some chapters from a male point of view in this book, and I wish we could just scratch those out. Those are absolutely unnecessary and just make it even more obvious what's going on. So it's like really, really easy to guess what is happening there. And yeah, so my goal is to finish that today. I have less than 150 pages left, and as I am on sick leave this week, I think I can really power through that today if I try. And then I have a ton of books out from the library on Libby, and then some physical reads as well. So I want to try to use the sick leave to catch up on some reading, and we'll see how it goes. I keep you updated, and we'll just do our best. So it is the 23rd of October, and last night I reached my goal and I finished The London Séance Society by Sarah Penner. And yeah, this wasn't my favorite. I did really enjoy The Lost Apothecary, but this second novel just really didn't do anything for me. I think that, as I said before, the male perspective really should have been cut out of the book, because it just kept repeating things. Like, we would see the same scene we've just seen. That is such a weird sentence. Just from that other perspective again, while we could totally like understand what was going on with the other person. So it was like absolutely unnecessary, and it just kind of dragged everything out. And when we were like 2/3 through the story, I was like, yeah, probably already know everything I need to know, so why are we even here still? So yeah, I gave this one 3 stars. I think that in general the writing is quite good, but for like interesting plot, interesting characters, stuff like that, this really didn't do anything for me, unfortunately. So I'm glad that one is done and that it was a library book, so I didn't spend any unnecessary money on that. And I decided to go with my next library hold that I have. And maybe I should have chosen one of the other ones, but I wanted to go with the ones first where other people are waiting for the books. And so I picked up Evocation by S T Gibson. This is my first S T Gibson book, and yeah, I have access to it through the library, so that's why I chose this one to start off with. This one also follows like seances and stuff like that, so it has like a very similar setup to the last book. But in this one, we have our main character of David, who one day kind of gets this like voice in his head, and he thinks that something is trying to possess him. And so he kind of begs for help with his ex and his new wife. And I think this is kind of a poly romance, so I'm intrigued to see how I like it. I have heard mixed things about the characters and how well their romance works. But yeah, so far I'm like 60 pages in, something like that. So my goal is to focus on this today and tomorrow, and hopefully get it done quite quickly, because it is kind of a short book and I have all this time to myself. So yeah, we'll see about that. I will keep you updated. So far I'm liking it. I like the writing style, and I'm intrigued to see what that entity is that tries to take over David. How much do you love the mint tea? Okay, high on it. Okay. So my best friend got me this ridiculously big and heavy package, and I thought we could check it out together. No idea what this is. It is very heavy though. Okay. I think I put away the scissors too soon. I think I'm correct. It's chicken stock. Okay. Oh my god. I don't even know what else is in here. I think this is just ice to cool it, which is still very much frozen. That is impressive. Oh my god. And then we have like other healthy things. So unfortunately, I absolutely hate this stuff. What is in here? Noodles? I'm so happy. I was about to make some pumpkin risotto, but I got lazy because I'm playing Sims. And right now I'm really glad, because I think I have other stuff to eat right now. So we have some energy tea, which is very much needed. Okay, this is, I think, chocolate with... I don't know. I don't even know. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. That's for muscle pain.
Okay, this is probably ginger or something. And we have some apples, I guess, and hopefully some pears, because apples are not very good for me, so we'll see. Okay, so we have some ginger, some lime, some, I don't know what you call that, persimmon, some small avocados. Okay. So if I'm not like peak health tomorrow, I don't know. I don't know if I did it correctly, but this definitely looks much better than the canned soup I had for the last week. Today is the 25th of October. Still struggling, but healing. And today's the last day of my sick leave, so we'll see how I will feel on Monday. But I am 2/3 into Evocation right now, and this is an interesting book. I'm definitely not getting off the like seance-y occultist horse right now. But yeah, in Evocation, we follow this guy David as he has kind of an occult problem, and he seeks out the help of his ex, Rice, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, and his wife, Moira. And so, yeah, I am enjoying the vibe of this. I do like the whole idea that they're kind of researching this issue, and we do have some like ghostly apparitions and this like big mansion where David grew up, and we have this discussion of being born and privileged but then having like very terrible parents versus not having the privilege and just striving for the money and the fame and stuff like that and the success. So I think that is quite interesting to see with these characters. This also heavily deals with alcoholism because David was an alcoholic and he has been sober for I think around 2 years at the start of the book. But this is all like challenged by his like occult troubles and everything that happens with that. So definitely an interesting book, and I do really enjoy Moira as a character. She is like this very open-minded and friendly and nice person, but she has like very great boundaries, and she will tell you that she will be nice to you as long as that is what she wants to do. But if you do anything that makes her not want to be nice anymore, then she will stop. And I really like that because I think being a nice person is a great thing, but it can be exploited so easily. So seeing her have these boundaries and setting them verbally and stuff like that is just very great. And I really, really enjoy that. And I think she's definitely the most interesting character, but I do enjoy the two men as well, and the way they have this like weird rivalry that has also been love at some point. So I'm having a good time with this book. This is not going to be like my new favorite book or anything like that, but I really like the writing and I like the exploration of these characters, and I don't really mind that there isn't much of a plot here because, as you might know, I'm a character-driven reader, so I'm fine with that. Then for my audiobook, I have gotten a little bit into these fleeting shadows. Now, obviously, as I'm not leaving the house, I don't have a lot of like moments where I listen to my audiobook, but I did some cleaning and stuff, so I have started it. And again, we're not getting out of the occult topics, because in this one, our main character, Helen, is going back to her family home, Harrow, which is an old weird manor house, and she is told that she actually inherited the house, but in order for it to be truly hers, she has to stay there without leaving for 1 year. And so we're following her. I think what I really enjoy about this book is that it's really not holding back. Like, you're in the middle of action from the first page. So even though I haven't listened to like a ton of it yet, we have actually already gotten quite a lot of plot, but also of like character building and understanding Helen. There were some discussions about pain and migraine that I just listened to that I really resonated with as someone who has quite regular migraines. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I generally, I'm getting confused with those words again, but yeah, I have enjoyed Kate Ellis Marshall a lot in the past, so I'm very positive I will keep enjoying this one. But the thing is that yesterday I started playing The Sims because I am starting to feel a bit better. And so I think for this weekend, probably quite a bit of my time will also be spent with my Sims. If you don't know, after watching the last season of Bridgerton, I made a Bridgerton family and I'm currently trying to raise all of these 8 children. So far I have 5, so things are going quite well. But yeah, it's like a lot of fun. Like having so many Sims in your household is definitely a challenge because the way I play, I'm a micromanager, so they do not have free will. I will tell them everything they have to do. So it is quite a challenge to have that many Sims, but I'm having a grand old time with that. And so I don't expect to like read a ton this weekend. But obviously, whenever I need to lie down, but I do still have the focus to read, I will do that. So today's the 28th of October. I do feel much better. Today I will go back to work. So we'll see how that goes. I have to teach a class today, so I'm intrigued to see how my vocal cords will deal, but I'm like ready to go back into the world. Like this week or like week and a half that I have been secluded here, it just felt a little bit much. So I did play a lot of Sims, as I have said before, and because of that I didn't do a ton of reading, but last night I finally finished reading Evocation by S T Gibson and I did really like it. I gave it 4 stars. This was a read that I enjoyed, but that like didn't pull me in completely. I think that the characters were interesting to look at. I don't quite know how I feel about the poly representation that we get in the book. I think it is good, like if you're just starting out to look at this topic, as these characters are. They are like exploring this as an option basically for the first time. So it's not like a very deep level of looking at how a relationship like that could work. So if you expect that, I think you will be disappointed. But I think it is also fine to just see a relationship in like the starting stages and them figuring out like first steps basically. And for the whole like plot with the demon summoning and everything, is not like my favorite thing to read about, but it also wasn't offensive. I enjoyed reading that. I think it just gives this kind of unique frame where we have a character like David who is so self-sufficient and he's trying to do everything by himself and never accept help. And then he ends up in a situation where he basically gets so sick from this demon that he has to ask other people for help. So that was interesting. I liked it. If it sounds interesting to you, I would recommend it. But as I said, it wasn't mind-blowing, unfortunately. And so that brings me to my probably last October read. I don't think I will finish this before the month is over, but we'll see. We can try. And that is This House is Haunted by John Boyne. I got this one from the library and I did like a try a chapter thing in the summer and I decided to keep this one for October. This is like a historical fiction with like gothic horror elements, I believe, and we're following a woman called Eliza. And in the first chapter, we just learn about her and her father who live in this house. It feels kind of isolated and gloomy. It is the autumn. It is raining, it is London, it is historical, and the father wants to go to a talk by Charles Dickens, and the father has been sick, so Eliza doesn't really want that, but she can't stop him, and so I guess he will probably
get even more sick after that talk and then pass away. That's what I gathered from the first chapter. So I'm intrigued to read this. I think this will be quite a quick read. We'll just have to see how much time I have for reading this week, because there's a lot of work to catch up with. So that's it for now with my audiobook, These Fleeting Shadows. I'm now almost halfway through. I'm like right around the halfway point. And it is still interesting, but it's still like, it has like very creepy elements. I think if you are like a teenager reading this is probably very creepy. But so far it hasn't really like completely caught my attention. It is also sapphic, so that is fun, and we do get a lot more like interactions with some other teenagers right now, which I like, because like, yeah, our character is a little bit isolated because she has to stay in this house for a year, so having some other people in the mix definitely helps to break it up a little bit.
Do you think that the life of being a performer on tour is exciting? Because you get to travel the world and see beautiful vistas outside of your tour bus. No, you drive.
So it is November now, and with that we have come to the end of this vlog. I do have one final update for you. I did not do any more physical reading because, yeah, life was busy. I had a terrible migraine and the Sims are slowly taking over my life. But I did finish my audiobook, These Fleeting Shadows by Kate Ellis Marshall. In the end, I decided to give it 4 stars. This wasn't quite up there with her other books for me, but the ending kind of saved it. There was a lot more meaning in the whole story from what you think while you're reading it. So it bumped it up a little bit again, but I think compared to Rules for Banishing and Our Lost Echoes, this one is quite tame. It still has this like cosmic horror thing to it, but I feel like, yeah, this just wasn't as engaging, as fun, as thrilling as these other books, and that's kind of sad. I will still continue reading her books, but this was a little bit of a letdown for me personally. So that's it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, leave a nice comment or a like. I would love to hear about your October reading, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!